Hello, everybody, and welcome to Silent Podcast, the place where everything but silent. I'm your host, Isaiah, and today we are here for our first official recap of the Penthouse season 4. It is pretty exciting. We had a really good first episode, and we're going to talk about the early check-in as well. But very exciting stuff to talk about. We're here today with the regular crew, like usual. I have Chanel here. Chanel, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, but before hold on. I haven't seen the graphic with the shh. Like, excuse me. The shh. Hold on. Every time I start a sentence, I'm just gonna go shh. Anyway, that's so good. I'm doing good. I'm good. I'm doing good. I'm excited to talk about it today.
All right. We also have Ganjo. Ganjo, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, my good sir. I wish I could move into whatever penthouse that Josh is, talking over. You feel me? That was very beautiful to hear him on the episode. But I'm doing very well tonight.
All right, and we also have Abby here. Abby, how are you doing? I know it's pretty late for you.
Yo, I'm good. I literally just watched the episode like 3-4 hours ago. So let's talk about it. Also, what Gandro said, I was excited to hear narrator Josh. I wrote that in my notes. Yes. It was very cute, very cute.
All right. So I mean, before we really get into the and before we get into the nitty gritty of this episode, how did everyone feel about it? I mean, we had an early check in. We had basically a whole lot of new filming. This is a brand new production. What's everybody's thoughts on it? Ganjo, how about you?
I really enjoyed it. I felt like the cast is really good. I feel like they came and brought whatever they wanted to bring, and it was most definitely enough for me. I feel like they had a lot to introduce, especially even though they had the early check-in, especially they still kind of had to introduce everybody in the first episode a little bit. I think they did a good job with that with 18 people. So I feel like I got a decent grasp on probably 75% of the people, but I thought it was really well done.
Well done. Chanel, did you have any like people who really like blew your expectations away, or people who like kind of was like, maybe not? Like, what are your thoughts?
Yeah. With what Gonjo said, like I think they could have done a little bit better. Like they got 75% of the people, but there was a lot of filler at the beginning of the episode. They could have done that to talk a bit more about the people. There's a few people that I was like, oh, I forgot they were there because they didn't talk at all in the episode, and I don't think they did any confessionals or like very little. People surprising me. The winner really surprised me. And how they navigated through that. We'll talk about it later, obviously. Just like what really surprised me about it and what I really liked about the episode is that people were like already starting talking right from the beginning. And I didn't expect that. I thought people would kind of just like chill and what they were right into it. Every second people were talking, it was gameplay, which I love. So really enjoyed it.
All right. Abby, are there any like early game favorites for you? I mean, I know we've only had like 1.5 episodes so far. Was there anyone who's really like you're really pulling for here?
Well, first of all, can I just say, I'm a bit confused by what Chanel and Ganjo said about there were some people left out and that because I feel like by the end of the episode I remembered everyone's names and like why? Because why should I care that much? But like because of how much information was given to me, I was like, oh yeah, I was just writing notes down, and I was remembering people's. I was like, oh my god, but shit, what was the question? Sorry.
Do you have any early game favorites?
Yeah, Laurel sleeps on the weekends. That's what I mean. I knew she was gonna come out as well. And remember, we said the wild cards got left, but we knew that they weren't. Like, I was sure that none of them were gonna be first boots. So yeah, it was just interesting to see. Yeah, wait, I can't wait to talk about it because they very much ate. Oh, Laurel sleeps on the weekends. No, she's sick.
So I mean, basically, we're just going to do a quick little rundown. Now, like I said, there was an early check-in, so there was a lot to really go through. But that's honestly where a majority of like this early gameplay came in because episode 1 started off with the challenge. I mean, we saw the cast meeting each other. We saw Jada joining and everything. A lot of alliance making, like Chanel said from the early get-go. Ganja, are there any like alliances that were formed really that like blew like I didn't see that coming, or like is there anyone that was like that's kind of random?
No, because I feel like most of the alliances seem to be, I guess, like region based, you feel me,
Mhm.
or familiarity with people. The one thing that threw me off was when Keaton said Keaton basically was like, oh, I'm not gonna turn on Robin, but like a little bit before that was just like, you know, Robin won this mini, right? I was like what's going on here? But ultimately I want to say I didn't see any of them out of left field, but I think the people in this game were ready to take a risk and potentially work with somebody they weren't usually down to work with.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there was this one specific group that I can start seeing forming like a really good bond. It was like a mixture of Xena, Nick, Edmund, and then there was Laurel, and they all seemed to like vibe together very well. Edmund wasn't like in the initial group, but like they brought him in. I was like, okay, that's funny. And I think John, by extension, because Xena seems cool with him, could be connected to them a little bit. Speaking of John, John kind of surprised me. I mean, like, all right, he was playing messy. It wasn't like polished or anything, but he definitely got himself at least in some sort of foundation where like he can't be targeted like early. I think Abby, you seem to be feeling some way about that.
First of all, John, all that talking. Well, maybe it'll come out in the later episodes, but I was expecting balls to the walls. Like people were comparing him to Derek.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Derek was this silent in the first episode.
I'm people. Yeah. So
yeah.
I was about to say who was comparing him.
Yeah.
It was Isaiah.
There was someone in the chat last time as well saying Derek. I was like, I don't know, but anyways, yeah, John very much surprised me. Again, as I said, I thought he was gonna go balls to walls. He wasn't. He was very chill. People were gravitating towards him, so I was like, okay, the persona in the confessionals is different to how he is in the house. So he actually seems very likable, and I guess he does seem trustworthy enough because he's got people like Xena and Matt on his side. And so Xena, first of all, wow, Xena. And she didn't surprise me because I knew this is exactly how she's going to be. She came in, she's got John and Matt there, then she's got Laurel and Edmund and Nick there, then she's even got all the other, like, she's eating. Someone who surprised me though, Keaton. Look, he's a game bot, so he came in. He said he didn't want to make connections, but I guess he'll do what he has to do for the game, and he's doing well. People seem to trust him. I'm just shocked. I'm honestly shocked.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with the Keaton thing, because like even when they were like, oh, you know, bottom, blah blah blah. It's like, okay, well, that's fine, but don't put me. You can put me there, you know, that's fine. Don't worry, but make sure you put me at the top of the bottom if you're gonna do it, which is so smart. Like he was like, that's fine, you know, let's have good rapport here. You know, I'm gonna accept it, but you know, let's keep the good rapport by putting me at the top. I like that. And then the John thing, I was like, wait, I like John? What? Excuse me?
Right? How dare they?
What episode am I watching? And I'm John like, people are talking about how much they like him and stuff. I was like, what's happening?
John's the type of player that like I feel like people know that he's going to be like out there. So like I think that they will like want to rally behind him. You know what I'm saying? But exactly. Yeah, like he definitely did like a really good job. Chanel, so another question is something else that we saw in the early check-in and eventually in episode 1. There was a lot of people like instead of like talking, they were like looking for advantages. Specifically, it was like Jules, JP, Keaton. A lot of people were looking for those advantages. Right. Eventually, JP finds one, as we saw. But like, did you like? What was your opinion on that? Is it spoiler? I mean, look, we're here to recap.
We're recapping.
It's recapping.
Okay, sorry, I thought we was gonna go in order, but you know,
honestly,
yeah.
Honestly, like I just think it's so funny when people start looking for advantages and stuff because it's so obvious, and at the same time, like you're just targeted. Like, oh, I saw you looking for advantage. You probably have one. You might not even have one. You might not even have one. And then like, you know, you get targeted that way. It's just like so silly to me. Like, I mean, there's like subtle ways to look for ones, right? Like, you know, kind of just peeking here and whatever. But like there was like literally people like just like just gonna try to go look under here, whatever. Like Keaton was looking and JP was like, everyone was just like looking everywhere. And it's just like so funny to me because it's so obvious.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it was crazy that they was looking so hard so early. Like the game didn't even start technically, and they were looking. I do understand that, but I feel like you should want at least a foundation before you want to rely on you never should want to rely on a power to
Yeah,
stay.
it's so early.
No,
It's so
that's what I'm
early.
saying. I think some people were like already. I feel like it's for all the people that were looking. So JP, Jules, and Keaton. I feel like they're already doubting their social
Exactly.
abilities.
I think
That's why
so.
they went and straight did it. But as we
You gotta
can
work
see
on
later
that.
on, spoilers, they're actually pretty good socially. So like, what are you guys doing? Oh my
But
god, yeah.
I do have a question though. Like, do you? Okay, I guess this is going too far, but I don't want to forget this question. When the person won the challenge, Laurel, whatever, do you think? Do you think JP was initially supposed to be in that spot? That's the question. Because she said she had her mind made up, but it seemed like
I mean,
a lot
judging
of
by the
traction was
clips,
there.
it didn't seem like he was really speaking to many people.
Yeah, I was gonna
Like,
say he's too busy looking for. Or
Yeah,
like,
and did JP find the advantage before? Wait, let me check.
I think
no,
it
that
was
was after.
after.
Mhm.
After
That's a
they
bit-
just showed the clip early at the early check-in. That was all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was
Mhm.
after.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know,
He
he was
just
like
all over the place. You
Maybe
know what
Laurel
I mean?
did. Maybe
She's
Laurel
witty about
always
it.
had her
Mhm.
bottom 5, and then when the
Mhm.
advantage thing came up, she said, "Okay, I know who's at the bottom."
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
mean, it felt like, and I forgot to mention them as well, but like Mona, Nicholas, Laurel, Edmund, and Xena, that's really like kind of like the hierarchy here right now. And like,
Mhm.
if you're not in that, you might be in some danger, honestly. And I think Jada and Robin were like kind of figuring out how to like stay out of the crossfire and all that. So, you know,
that
it's
was a
just like,
close one. Yeah, because like,
yeah,
like the other thing is like, you know, when he found it, it was just like he was spending so much time trying to basically talk people out of like not targeting him because he had it, and he didn't spend any time like really talking to the person who could put him up. And I think like, you know, that's the thing. And like we talked, it's too early for things like that. That just makes you, if I saw someone looking for advantages and stuff, I'd be like, this person's like really sketchy and like all over the place. Like, I don't know where their head's at. Like, they obviously seem to always have doubt in their head about their standing. So like that would make me not want to work with them or just like not have them. You know what I mean? Because I don't know what side they're on.
I feel like he should have
might have
leveraged
an
it.
advantage.
He should have leveraged it. Like, he should have basically went to
100%.
Laurel and been like, if you don't throw me up, you can have this bitch. I don't want
It's
it.
like,
You
I
feel
haven't
me?
looked at it.
Yeah,
I would have done. I was like, here,
Exactly, because I don't get why he's still holding on to it now. He probably should have used it in the round.
Okay.
And just been like, please, I don't have it anymore. So if you guys are targeting me now,
Yeah,
come
exactly.
with
Get
that
rid of
truth
it.
for why you're targeting me. But he was just like, I have it and I'm not gonna use it.
And he read it too, so it's like it's not even an advantage.
Yeah.
It's like it's an advantage, but it's not an advantage.
Yeah, it's
You know
really
what
not an
it is?
advantage. It's
should have
just
been like more sneaky about it, right?
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, because it's like the vote one, right? Where he can see
Yeah,
someone's
is it
vote.
seeing it?
Everybody
Yeah.
expose everybody's vote for a specific person, correct?
Right. So I guess that messes up some, but at the same time, like the advantage is like people see how sketchy people are, but at the same time, it's just like if he lost that advantage, does that really do anything? That doesn't really hurt him at all. So
you actually can
have
measure
this.
But actually, I just clocked this because maybe it was the 5 bottom people voting, right? So. And then he told all the 5 people what it was. So like, so he would
told them all.
He would have had to expose one of the 5 people's votes, basically, right?
Yes.
Or,
yeah.
So, and we know what happened. So he would have exposed them all, basically. So I guess I kind of understand why he did it, but I think he needs to use it next round. Otherwise, they're just going to keep coming for him.
Well, we'll get more to that in a second.
Yeah. We'll get. Yeah.
I mean, the only reason we talk about it now is because they showed it in the early thing.
Yeah.
They didn't show him find it though, but they showed him looking.
No, they did after the credits. They showed
Are you sure?
Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't go that far.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't go that far.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
Come on, Marvel. Wow. Next time I'll check.
Easter eggs.
So I mean, before we get to the first episode, the last thing in the early check-in, I will agree with Joseph here. He says, speaking of Nicholas, he is going to serve us in confessionals with the looks and everything. Yeah, this is a really good dress cast, honestly. Yeah.
About Nicholas.
Yeah. So basically we're going to get into the first episode. I will say it did start, I know we were talking about this a little bit earlier before we went live. It started very like immediately. Like,
I love that, because because I watched the early check-in and episode, like I just watched it back to back, and it felt good because it felt like, okay, I got a nice meaty bit of the social interaction. Then it didn't really have to bog down the beginning of the episode. It just went straight into it. And then they did I think they did the recaps of it good as well when they started discussing the alliances and stuff. So I really like that. They're eating with the editing.
I was almost afraid that we would have to like watch it all over again. I'm like,
I was like, oh god, but they did it in a way where it's like, if you watch the check-in, it's not going to be boring, and if you didn't watch the check-in, you still get the information. But I would say watch the check-in. It was so good.
I liked it. I thought it was good.
It gave a lot of characters like definition and context, basically.
I feel like every show should just have like an episode 0. I feel
they
like
I agree.
Get to know the cast more.
Yeah, so you get to know people, because they'll do like single episode. Like, I like the intro videos. Obviously, everyone has it, but that's like all you get. And then sometimes you get like in the middle where they'll throw in like, "Hey, we just need a break, so here's like this like video compilation thing." But I like at the beginning you get like the stories of everyone. You see everyone interacting. There's no real like super gameplay. You're just getting to know the people a little bit more and see how they interact.
It feels like I can just hop in without like having to worry about that.
Yeah, exactly. That's so smart. I like that they did that.
Yes. And I love how it's just like, and you just already know already. So it's like, even though they did the recap, it was like, okay, I kind of understood like Laurel's choices and what was happening.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, before we even talk about the challenge, I wanted to say shout out to Derek doing that setup. Did it. Shout out to Derek.
Okay, so I saw this and I thought it was a spoiler, and I was like, "What? Derek came back to the fuck
production."
Literally,
look at you. But on a serious note, I mean, Ganja, how'd you feel about the challenge? It was the whole water balloon with the signs and everything. How'd you feel about it?
I thought it was cool. I thought people basically had to show their cards early if they wanted power. I thought more people were going to be kind of like Kyle and try to like strike a deal. But it seemed like Evan was funny. I feel like Evan should have been working with the people that was good at it instead of trying to get them out, but whatever. But I liked it. But I did feel like it could have went a long time if nobody wanted to do anything. So that was the dangers with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the runtime. It seemed like the whole footage of the challenge, it ran up to like around like almost a little bit over 20 minutes.
Low key. Y'all could have cut that down a bit.
Yeah,
like it could have been a funny montage of everyone missing, and then someone being like, "Oh, it's been so long," and then like we did it. It was like 10 minutes of no one fucking scoring nothing. I was like, "What is going on?"
I think it's because we damn near got a confessional for everybody about why they felt they were good or bad at the challenge. It was like they just let everybody speak, and I think that might have been the bad thing.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But again, I feel like it was good because then at least you got to see everyone on screen. But then again, there's always pros and cons, I guess.
But it was good though. It was overall good though.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I did a 5-second clip of them going.
But the ending of the challenge.
Period.
Yeah, the ending of the challenge. Like if they had just got the beginning of like compilations of the funniest shots that were like really bad, and then just get to the end.
Funny.
Perfect.
But can I something I want to talk about? Yeah, wait.
Real quick, shout out to Katie. Thanks for that. She sent a bunch of people over here. But yeah, I mean, with the challenge, so my criticisms was the same. I thought that great concept. I didn't like the people were like throwing almost, and then everyone was like, "All right,
yeah, that shit was pissing me off." There should have been some sort of I can't think of the word, yokes.
Maybe they could have been
like disadvantage, like punishment. Like hurry up, you guys, or you take the mic. Like I get you don't want to get blood in your hands, but like let's move on. And it was funny because it was like it was Jada, and Jada was speaking about like, oh, I'm not going to target anyone. And I wrote down on my notes, I was like, Jada, that's so smart. And then everyone after Jada said the same fucking thing. And I'm like, shit. And we hear everyone missing this. I'm like, what the hell is this, bro? Like, Jesus Christ. Oh.
It was like, oh my god, like, am I watching a mini? Like, a lot of people like, oh,
that's what I'm saying.
I'm like, yo, y'all on the show? Like, come on, bro.
Like, Xavier on the show? I'm gonna throw this
okay.
I'm so competitive, yeah. That I would have been just like, no, fuck that. I would have been trying to get inside. I wouldn't be thinking about it.
Absolutely.
No, so, I gotta get him.
So I mean, it seemed like people like I'm trying to think who was in the final group. It was like Edmund, Laurel, Audrey.
But before, can I just bring
up?
Jules took out Nick, and it was because I was calculating, and then Nick said something like, well, you just better hope I don't get you out, and then it went to Nick, and it just flopped. That shit was funny. That was some good editing. I love shit like that. That was good. Yeah, sorry. Okay, now let's move on. Who's the funniest?
I don't know why John and Edmund were going after each other so hard either during that.
This is John, his hoe ass. I'm telling you. But
you know, so something interesting that happened before we get to the actual winner of it. It was like the final 4 people. They were like, all right, if one of us get it, we're just gonna make sure all of us are at the top. Audrey, very impressive, in my opinion. Audrey was like, yeah, she was like, yeah, they can promise that. I'm not listening. I don't care. I'm gonna do what I want. I thought that was good. Like, I will say, we drafted the way we drafted. We put Laurel and Audrey undrafted. I'm so sorry.
Sick.
No, I'm
Sick.
not sorry. And I would do it again. This is what I said to you guys. They're gonna be okay. And I knew the wild cards were not gonna be first boots, and they're looking like jury. It was smelling like jury to me. So I just found it funny. Like they were just there for their safety nets, right? Because if you put the first boot in the wild card, what's the point of that? Do you know what I mean? Like, you're not swapping that in.
Yeah,
Croc queen herself.
What's
so
the first
Oh, my heart.
So ultimately we saw Laurel win. Laurel completely killed this challenge, by the way.
Laurel does not sleep on the weekends.
Yeah. What was the tweet? I said that Laurel doesn't sleep on the weekends, but she sleeps on the weekends. She doesn't sleep during challenge. She completely killed it. Yeah.
I was very excited, and I love the last people in the challenge as well. I thought it was a cool group of people.
Yeah.
Oh, Phaedra did good too. All of them did good. I will say I felt like I was watching Big Brother for a little bit because the moment Laurel got power, everyone was trying to kiss her ass.
Oh,
yeah.
So many people.
Yes.
So
And that shit was chaotic.
I did like the little segment they had where they went through everyone's confessional, how they felt about her having it. Obviously Austin was like, that's a choice. I was like, ooh. You know, Keaton was like, I haven't talked to her. So like a lot of the people were worried. Jada doing a lot of early work.
Jada Queen.
Here. Yeah,
and I said people are gonna be in awe of the return of that. And she's just so cute and like unassuming. I think they're really just gonna like shit. I'm so sorry.
You're good.
But she's just gonna like pull the wool over her.
I mean, before we even continue with the story, I mean, like I think Jada, just to talk about her game specifically, this episode really did a good job. Like I think she was coming in here expecting to be targeted, expected to be like scared, and then she was like, "Wait, all these people are talking."
Oh my god, it was so cute. She said like, I can't believe I have a good game. Like I was like, Jada, of course you do. You just got to deal with bad cards last season. Like you would have been okay. Like
she thought people would target her in the balloon game, and no one did. And
that's what I'm saying. Like I'm so not to be rude for Jada, but she's not like scary. You know? That's what I said. I swear to God, I said this. I'm like, you wouldn't see Jada be like, scary. You just be like, let me work with her because she might help me out because she's been here before. But she didn't do that amazingly, you know. So it's like she's not that threatening. But
I think she put herself in a really good position with I see her literally being right there smack in the middle. I think she got ranked right in the middle. So I think like if she stays there, she will be in a good position. But only time will tell.
Still there for a bit, you know.
And don't panic. It's all about not panicking about your position.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like honestly,
find an advantage immediately.
It's such a drastic change too, because like if you see her last time, nobody wanted to talk to her.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, so
that
like,
shit was rude.
You have to play. Listen, she had the 3 bestie plague. You feel me?
Not the 3 bestie.
It's the bestie curse. Okay.
If she wasn't even that close to them, that shit would kill me off. Bro. I would just throw it away. Imagine
Absolutely. So the first person on camera, at least, that we saw really pitch something, was Keaton. And Keaton was like, "Ooh, like I, we ain't been talking, but like, yo, you save me." And she was like, "I'm gonna be honest, you're at the bottom. I'll tell you."
Jada was actually the queen because her confessional of that was actually so funny. But she was like, "Oh, I heard that Keaton went up to Laurel and was like, am I going to be in the bottom? Can we make a deal?" And Laurel was like, "No." That shit cracked me up. So yeah, go on, continue.
Laurel handled that really well, actually.
She did, yeah. She was like, Well, like
Yeah.
I already have my plan, like, but if
Mhm.
I'll
She
let
was
you
like,
know
oh,
if anything
yeah.
changes, yeah. Like,
She's
she
like, to
was,
be honest, it's gonna be you.
yeah,
It's you.
it's
Is
you.
there anything I
And
can do?
like,
No.
yo, it was so messy because like, all right, Keaton's pitch was like, all right, if I get power, like, you know, you control my game, or like, you know, you're not going up. Like, if you look in the
No.
background, Jules is standing right there. So I'm like, oh my god, like, yo, you
Yeah. So this is what I mean. Like, you can smell game people like Keaton from a mile away. So like, if that was just me, I would be like, and it was funny because something John said earlier, I agreed with. I mean, later I agreed with because he said, like if people came up to me when I won trying to make a deal, like just because I won, I'd be like, what the fuck? So I was like, wait, he didn't say what the fuck, I don't think, but you know, so I was like, yes, I'll be the same way. Like, why are you talking to me now just because I've won? So when Keaton did that,
100%.
I was like, good luck, Charlie,
100%.
because I don't think shit like that never works. Like, go.
You just
Like,
gotta make sure you have
It
those
doesn't.
genuine
game also
conversations
understand
early.
that the emotional aspect, because if
Yeah.
you're coming up to me last minute, I'm just gonna be like, you've actually put you in my mind more, bro. Get away.
Exactly. You're exactly right. Like, you got to have those like connect. Like, the thing about games like this, right? There's a lot of people, but at least like have a little conversation about something.
It's
It
not
could be the
hard
weather. It
either
could be
to
whatever.
connect
Like,
to someone about one thing.
talk.
That should be the bare minimum you should do. Connect to someone with one thing.
And one thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because then they're gonna have that good memory in your head, right? Like, oh, you know, Abby's really genuine. I really like Abby. I don't want to send Abby down right now. Right? We had a good conversation. She didn't come up to me after like, hey, bestie, blah blah blah, like all that kind of stuff. Like, oh, bestie.
So I got a question for y'all.
It'll
Being
be right in my head. Like, you're ungenuine, you're fake. I'm putting your ass up.
That's what I'm
right?
saying.
Like,
well, you need to get me on this game, please.
being in Keaton's position, being in Keaton's position, what do y'all feel like he should have did? Knowing he didn't talk to Laurel.
It's funny, I understand, yeah. But if it was me, that's personally not how I would play. But I guess like, what else do you do really? I would just go to Laurel and be like, hey, I know we didn't. But this the thing, I would not have to go up to someone and say, I know we didn't talk much.
There
I
you
would
go.
talk to everyone.
Okay.
So in Keaton's situation, he did the right thing, and I think he did it. He did it well.
He did it well. Yeah, it wasn't
like
and it wasn't overbearing. Some people can be really like, you know.
And he's a game bot, right? Like, so you know, sometimes it's just like game all the time.
Yeah.
But I think he rolled back and he's like, okay, I can't get myself out of this, but what can I do so I'm not in the worst position? And he said, that's fine, just put me in the top.
Exactly. And that's something like with if I was in that position, I wouldn't have even thought of something like that.
Exactly.
Like, you know, fair enough.
Exactly. I mean, the first mistake he made was just like looking for the advantage the first night, man. Like, you know, should have put more work in there.
It's all the advantage lookers. We're in the bottom.
Yeah, advantage lookers.
Okay.
Except
for Emmett.
Because half of the people were looking actually. It's all the bait people that were looking.
Real quick, I also wanted to echo. I agree with this. Taja said the confessional season were so refreshing versus the long ones last season.
Yes, and that's the difference.
Yes. They don't feel like 20 minutes.
Oh my God, they were sick.
Talking rubbish like.
was watching whole episodes. In the confessions.
So you know, the next thing is like it's a shot of like Edmund and John basically talking to everybody, like they're just like talking. And then JP, I mean, we spoke about this briefly, but he's like so slick. But not in a good way. Like he's just like, is that an advantage? Like, I don't know why he did this, right? He finds it. Apparently he makes eye contact with Edmund when he does it. He should have just been smooth. You could have talked about to Edmund about later. The guy decides to take it and then run.
No. You gotta pop up on them like nothing happened.
Here's what's worse, because one, everyone's gonna hear the footsteps, but two, you have a cameraman following you.
Yeah,
so you got someone.
That was sick.
Running.
That was sick.
I'm like,
oh
why
my
are you
God.
doing this? I'm like, come on, bro. So that was messy.
I would have found it and then been like, I found this.
Yeah.
You know.
Or I mean, if you make eye contact with Edmund, you see not calling nobody.
People are in a room.
Pull them aside later. Be like, yo, what's up? Yo, guess what I found?
Exactly. Like play it cool.
Yeah.
Like, it seemed like everyone saw him. I was baffled.
He was jumpy, man. He was jumpy.
I was about all the people saying, "Oh yeah, he got it." I was like, "Wow."
For what?
Why are you running?
I don't think he understood that, like, if somebody catch you with the power that early, they're gonna use that as an easy scapegoat.
I mean, he's watched all the seasons, hasn't he?
Yes, and
sorry.
No, I'm about to say, honestly, I feel like He just was scared somebody was gonna find it.
That's
But
yes,
what you-
because he said that, and he said it to Keaton. He was like, "Sorry, but I was scared because you were right there."
But what
could've
once you
found
do,
it.
once somebody find it, be like, I know it was a card there. I didn't take it
That's
because I
it.
didn't want to be sus. But somebody got that bitch, okay? And then you suss people out, and then people kind of like trust you, like, oh, it was they might be like, oh,
Exactly.
I'm not gonna put you in the bottom.
People, I just feel like people shouldn't. I don't know. I get it's good, but I feel like it's just not good in the earliest of the game.
No.
Like maybe after the third round, then start looking. But
You look sketchy. You look
yeah,
sketchy.
you do, and it's just such an easy thing to target. Anyone would do it, I think.
Absolutely.
And I feel like even JP himself must be like he knew he was like, oh, I'm gonna be a target now. Yeah, you
are. So I also wanted to talk just to jump around on a couple players that we haven't spoken about yet. Matt. He had an episode.
Hey,
I mean,
Daddy.
I
can't believe I picked a white man for my draft. Oh my god, I've been shaking, throwing up, crying. He did well though. He did well.
All right.
The muscles.
Oh well, you know what?
Came in hand.
I'll save that for the ranking. I'll save that for the actual ranking. When we rank
such a hater.
We'll save that. So after that, he runs. He finds out the power, like we all spoke about. Whatever. Edmund's like, yo. Guess what he found? Like he tells everybody.
Edmund. Sorry, I keep jumping in. I just have to.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm just like so it's a smart move in something if depending on how he handles it. I don't think he handled it correctly.
Edmund, what was your message when you sat down?
Yeah.
And told everyone what you came in this game to do.
Yeah.
What was the message, Edmund? And now you're throwing a black man under the bus. What are you doing? I just need to know. I was very confused. Very confused. It didn't make any sense. I'm still confused. And then himself, he said, I put my foot in my mouth. Yeah, you did. Why did you do that?
He regretted it like immediately though.
Why?
He was like,
he did it so quick, bro.
That was an impulse. See, just like JP ran and was like, why did I do that? And then was like telling him, he was like, why did I do? Like, I think maybe it's the cameras.
Yeah, I think it's the cameras.
And he had to go
because after everyone did something, they're like, yo, why did I do that? Like, I
that's information that if you got it and nobody else got it, that's so powerful.
That's blackmail, man.
You feel me? You could destroy somebody with that information, like he did, but
you could weaponize that. There's a couple of things to do, but
exactly.
So let me see what else happened after. So basically everyone's crowding Laurel. No more one-on-ones. And Laurel's like, yeah, I'm vibing.
I love her. I already know what I'm doing, so I'm just vibing. I said, yes, come on, join the margarita. Yes, she deserves it. She's done well.
So basically, one thing Nicholas did that I thought Edmund should have did. He went to JP, was like, yo, everyone knows you have an advantage, but like I'm not coming after you. I think Nicholas handled that very well.
Hey, and I already told you guys.
Yeah. The other thing with the Edmund thing too is like I don't like snitches either. Like, I can't tell you.
She would have me now.
Like you literally have the information for 2 seconds, and it's just like I know you're trying to throw it on someone else, but that's blackmail. Like Abby said, like what?
Yeah. I mean, I think there's room for bounce back here easily. I mean, like he's in the number.
Yeah, I don't think it even ruined his game at all. I'm just annoyed.
No,
I would
say he didn't have more power.
Like, he was stressed out after. Like, oh, people are gonna think I'm. No one cares, Edmund.
No, I would personally be scared he would do it to me.
That's what I
mean.
You put that in people's head. Like you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I can't tell you have an advantage because you're going to tell someone 2 seconds later when I found
That's
it.
what he said. That's what he was like. Dang, now people are going to think I'm like a snitch.
Exactly.
I can't keep a secret. So you're just going to have to repair that a little bit because now people are going to think, oh, I can't tell Edmund nothing. He's going to tell everyone else.
Yeah.
I
can't trust him.
Anyways.
So basically after that, we first of all, Josh did a really good job with the narration of this episode.
Oh, nailed it.
Yeah, he said that. You did
Butter.
But we
he said, "Ooh, yikes!"
I think he called Nathan the bestie too.
Yes, so funny.
Wait, I want to see if I can find it, but keep going.
So basically, we find our bottom. I'm just because I didn't write it down. Let me just see real quick. So the bottom was like a mixture of JP, Jules. It was Matt. I believe. Who else am I missing, y'all?
Keaton, JP,
Keaton, JP.
I don't remember. Jules,
Missing like one person.
Austin,
Kyle.
Oh wait, no,
there you
I'm
go. So it was Keaton, Matt, Jules, JP, and Kyle. Those are the bottom five. And we got the switch. And I think everyone voted Mona. Which I was like, okay. We didn't get much Mona content this episode till like around this part.
Yeah, we
but
got a little bit, yeah.
It seems like Mona did a lot of good work socially, just to get herself integrated within the house structure. So, kudos to Mona. I think Mona did a very good job with that. But Mona, it was funny because this is where a lot of mess happened, where people are trying to pitch to get switched, and basically Jules is trying to pitch like, yeah, I was promised that I wasn't gonna move out, and then Laurel was like, nah, like, no baby, like he was like, she was like, no, she said someone else.
Yes,
I was like, I mean, I thought it was hilarious because I did not expect Laurel to do that. And Laurel was like, I didn't say that. You were talking to someone around me. I was like,
yo, I need West production. I'm pissed because the shit we watched, that was not Laurel in that fucking confessional thing we watched last week or whatever.
It's the
Laurel
6 a.m. call
time. I'm pissed.
I'm not 6 a.m. 6 a.m. Chanel is a different 6 p.m. Chanel. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna give it that.
Nah, she popped out this whole
I didn't say
episode.
that. There was someone there with me. I was like,
wow. I mean, they did say Laurel was like the last interview and it was super early, so
okay, yeah, it's making sense now because Laurel was much
better. Yeah, no, nailed it.
Like Laurel sleeps on the weekends. I did not see that.
Bro, and like every time she kept on screaming, I kept laughing because every time I heard it in my the back of my head, Laurel sleeps on the weekends. Then she went on challenge. I was like, oh, fuck me.
Not right now. Not on this weekend. Not on this day.
You know what I mean? She woke the fuck up. Good for
Chanel, how did you feel about the whole Jules and Laurel argument? What was going on? Because I will say, and we're going to see this in the interview later, because we have an interview with the first Boo person. Allegedly, that argument went on much longer than we saw. They just cut it down a lot.
Sorry, they let us sit through these people flopping, throwing water balls.
Yeah. Could have got longer.
We could have seen a long fight. No,
allegedly the fight was 10 times longer than that. So
joking?
Yeah.
It was probably so funny.
Yeah,
they might put it in the beginning of next episode.
I guess Jules is just kind of calling out like things that she had talked about with like Laurel and stuff, right? And then I get why she's fighting. Like she's at the bottom, they're at the bottom, and they had talked with that person, so it's like, why am I down here, right? So it's just like I'd probably be mad too, because it's like, why am I at the bottom out of all things? But at the same time, I think you just have to keep your cool, for something like this. So, but I'm pretty sure that they're just like a hot-headed person, just like me. But in games, you need to. It's too early. It's too early to show that.
No, but I think the way Jules did it was okay though, because it was just like they were all pitching, right? And then Jules said something like, well, I had a conversation with a certain person.
Yes.
And they should know. And then Laurel jumped in like, there was someone else there, and Jules was like, who else was there then? I was like, yes, you better, because exactly. And then obviously
I think Jules, they were just like defending themselves.
So I mean,
it's like Laurel was kind of throwing stuff in there. So I don't think Laurel had to say anything. I think Laurel just needed to like let them talk. And
I mean, the way it looked, I can see why it could be perceived differently. It made it sound like I think Jules worded it wrong, because Jules was like,
that's what
I was promised and I didn't get. That makes it oh, like your word is crap. Like
that's why it seemed heated to me, but they did handle it well, because it actually escalated the other person. And when I was watching it at the time, I was like, the whole time I was like, okay, Laurel, like you're killing it. You're doing really well. But then in that situation, I was like, oh, you're looking a little like shady right there, the way you're handling this right now. So just like roll it back a bit, like just bring it back in for a second. Cause you want to keep your cool the whole time. You got a good rapport with everyone at the moment. And this may look bad that people see that you're making you're reacting to like this kind of deal.
I agree with what Joseph said. Bring it up.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Laurel just needed to let them talk and just focus on getting JP out because he found that power.
Exactly. 100%.
From an entertainment standpoint, I loved it. Fight more,
exactly.
please.
That's why I was like, yeah, for entertainment, fight all you want.
Yeah. But for game,
yeah, exactly. I'm here. I want fighting.
So do you think we're gonna see more of a combative Laurel?
But we best have more fights.
No,
I want them all to fight.
A combative Laurel, like
I mean,
going toe to toe with people. If like
that depends
she
if
just,
anybody
I
wants
see
that
her personality
smoke.
straight away. I know exactly the type of girl Laurel is. Yes.
Oh, apparently
if someone comes at her
fight.
like that again, yes. I don't think she's the type of person that's going to be like, But
Right,
she
right.
hears something. Oh, good luck.
Yeah,
I mean,
apparently that was the whole fight though. So
I'm sorry, but white women like Laurel are scary.
Yeah.
I mean, that's also depending on if anyone wants that Laurel smoke. You feel me? Like
That's what I'm saying, scary.
and Laurel's like
army,
with the
baby.
people like in power, so it's like
Yeah, Laurel's like at the top of the
Don't wanna poke
hierarchy.
that
I think Laurel will
right
be
now,
chilling.
yes.
yeah.
Right, yeah, at the moment, yeah. But it just takes a little bit of power shift and it could be out.
So basically Mona chose like an easy decision. I think she just ended up like flipping like it was like Keaton or Matt. Basically bottom people stayed in the bottom. It didn't matter, honestly.
It makes sense.
But the person at the bottom was JP. He has to pick someone to defend him, which I will say to production, y'all did a good job with this because last season I was, as a first-time viewer, I was very confused a lot because they would like show like the switch and then they'll stop it and then the next episode starts with the defender. I'm like, what is going on? I'm glad y'all showed all of it this time. It makes everything a lot more digestible. But JP chooses Jules.
Was I bugging or did they cut out when he chose Jules?
Right, I didn't see that either.
I swear it just jumped to Jules.
They probably didn't show him saying it. It was probably like production.
Like a cliffhanger.
I feel like they need to put. I rewinded. Like, did I miss something? It was
No.
just Jules in there. They should have put something. They need to put something.
Yeah, they need that.
Because it was kind of weird. It was like them explaining what happened, and then Jules was just in there explaining their decisions. I was just like,
production. If you have it, please show it the next episodes.
I mean, we got banishment in chat, so
banishment.
Or you could just do a little title card like JP has chosen. Jules.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not like, what the fuck did I miss it?
Yeah, just have Josh go.
Yeah.
Whatever. Oh wait, no, they said that, didn't they? Or did Jules just show up?
I'll have to look
Did
at
they
that.
just show up?
I swear to God, I rewind. So I don't know.
I'll have to look back.
Okay, well, if you don't have that, please, we need some.
So
why did JP choose Jules? Why
so if you're in the bottom, is the strategy always to choose somebody that's nominated, or why did JP choose Jules in that situation?
I mean, if you remember in the early check-in, Jules and JP were looking for advantages together, so they obviously established.
They seem close.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
It seemed like all the bottom people been kind of talky together. So
yeah, but that's a good question because I don't know either. Is it you have to choose from the bottom people, or can you pick?
I think you can pick anybody.
You choose anybody. The new twist, new twist, the VIP and the
the guest list.
That's it. The guest list. You can't choose any of those people in it, so you can choose anyone else.
Because I remember the one girl picked Derek, and Derek wasn't in the bottom that first time.
Okay.
So,
yeah, you can pick anyone. You can pick anyone.
Real quick, because Taja asked a question in the chat. Taja said, did Laurel buck up at Jules because that's how they are, or is it because Jules isn't the dominant player?
I think both. It could be absolutely, but I see Laurel's fire in her though. Do you know what I mean?
Me too.
So I feel like if anyone else had done that, I feel maybe it would have been as much vim, but she probably still would have said something. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like they both have the
exact so they're very button heads.
Yeah, like if someone came out at me like not at me, but like
see Edmund.
Yeah, exactly. We nailed it.
You harassed Edmund. I'm so.
So basically we saw the decision. This is 2 seasons in a row someone chose a power, so that's cool.
Say right?
Huh? What's your question?
Safe.
Oh,
Safe.
safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Instead of
last
power.
time Derek chose power,
Mhm.
and then Jules chose power. So I mean, I was like, okay.
No, Jules
okay.
chose
Jules chose
safety,
safety.
Oh,
baby.
safety. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
I'm so
yeah,
sorry.
Jules chose safety.
Safety.
You know who the one is?
I was here nodding like, yeah.
He's like, yeah.
My bad.
That ain't happened.
But Jules chose safety. And basically the consequences of that was that only the bottom 5 people were voting. And they can only vote between the 5 people, and then the 3 other people right above them, which was Austin, Nathan, and Robin. That was an interesting little twist. I actually didn't mind it. I thought it was.
I like that
It was
twist.
I liked
different.
it.
Yeah,
Wait, sorry,
Yeah.
what twist?
The twist that switched the people who are
yeah.
in the bottom.
Because it's almost
Oh,
like
the power, yeah.
it's kind of interesting because it's like, all right, if you're playing like the middle, are you going to get punished? Like it was like, oh, like I don't know, like
Get
you
punished.
kind of can't,
Work
yeah.
it.
So it's interesting. It kind of forces people to take more of like a stance in the game.
But
I
you
thought it was
wanted to be in the
interesting.
middle there because
Yeah.
then you would have been in the middle of the thing, and then you won't be able.
Mhm.
Really, you
Would
just
be Jada.
Well,
Right.
do you really want to be in the middle though? Because
Yes, I think so. I personally think so because it seems like right
Yes,
above
ultimately-
the bottom. He was at the low bottom. He was at the bottom. You know what I'm trying to say? He was damn near in the bottom, like in the bottom 5 or whatever. But what ended up happening was whoever saved, who basically the person on the bottom, they probably had votes to stay. So them risking a life for somebody else was a benefit for both. And normally it's more detrimental to the person, I feel. But the people on the bottom having the sole votes, I feel like was the important difference here. Because the person who saved, the person basically had, I'm in the bottom with y'all. Why wouldn't y'all save me type shit?
Yeah, exactly.
So-
honestly, I think. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
no,
off.
you're good. You're good.
Honestly, I loved that twist. And the question of do you play the middle? Like, where do you play? I know, Nathan. I don't know. Do you play the middle? Who knows what the next twist is going to be? This is a hard game to play, right? So you could play the middle, but I think you want to be inching middle top, because if you're playing the middle and you get thrown down and you're like at the top of, or you're in with whoever's there, like you're good, right? So like in this instance, it wasn't the middle players who got thrown down. It was like literally the people who were like the next from the bottom, like they were the bottom middle. They were the bottom middle, right? So this game's hard. I don't know what to tell you about playing the middle. It may detriment.
And I mean, it was the
the
first time
best.
that they've done it too. So it's not.
Yeah,
like
exactly. So it's a whole new game. Who knows where you can play? I don't have a
Absolutely.
strategy for you.
I think this incentivizes people to make hella alliances too. Like
Exactly.
it incentivizes
Be
you to be a
connected.
strong social player.
Yeah.
Like this is the game you have to be social in because you need to have your grounds covered.
Honestly, you're right.
I'm looking at it. It's like maybe Big Brother should do this because it's like oh,
good twist.
now you can't be like
This is a
big
good twist.
No, steamroll it. They might do it now. The whole team steamroll. But then the other thing is, right?
Yeah.
I think this is a good time for you to actually make good with people in the bottom, because if you have a twist like this and then someone's voting you out who's in the bottom, you have them, right? So the people who were that went in after, they probably weren't good with anyone in the bottom. So it's just like, well,
and I mean, a lot of them they highlight that they haven't spoken to enough people,
Yeah.
So I completely agree. Real quick, JP, yeah, all players will be offered exclusives if you want to come on and talk to us.
Draft pick.
Yeah. Just to keep it moving. So, I want to say, shout out to Edmund too. I enjoy the quality of this blackness. Thank you. I will say, so the next thing that happened, I want to see what's your opinions on this, guys. So JP basically, the 5 people who are voting separate. The people who are saved stay in the house, and there's like 5 and whatever. And then the 3 people who are like, oh, we don't have to vote, but like we're also up for elimination. They're like doing their own thing. We'll get to them in a second. JP decides to tell the bottom 5 people that he has an advantage. Who knows what they're going to do with this information? But I mean, was this a smart move from JP to tell them about this? Or
yes,
I mean,
yeah.
look out.
He was exposed.
Yes.
Like I just
Yeah.
said, you need those people in the bottom because you don't know what the twists are. So I feel like, and it's the same thing that me and Abby talked about it when we were like at the beginning, when you're starting the game, you need to talk to everyone about every little thing. If you're talking to people who feel like they're on the outs, right? And you just had a simple conversation with them and they're like, that person talked to me or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, I'm gonna give them something that they trust me about, which is I'm telling them what the advantage is or whatever, right? So that may just propel JP to the top because he's now has these other 4 people who know this, and they're like, oh, I can trust JP because JP told me this thing. So you know, and they also connect on that thing of them being that they were in the bottom, right? So.
Yeah. But then you also gotta look at the people he's talking to about it. You got Keaton.
What you got to realize here is Keaton was near him, so I think Keaton was one of the people that saw him find it also, and then people like Jules, he was good with, and I think he wanted to get closer with Carl. So I just feel like this again. This was a good way of building like a social connection. Hey guys, we're like the losers on the bottom. I've got an advantage. Let's be besties.
I bottom crew.
That was the best at that point. That was the best thing for him to do because he's already like at the bottom because he was being slow to form social connections, and he found the advantage. So now it's like he needed something, and I think that was the best thing to do because everyone already knows about it. So now you've told them. I think he told them what the actual advantage is as well, and he didn't tell anyone else that. So that's like a big bit of trust. So I'll be shocked if any of those not like go against him, but they might because there's some people like Kyle. Kyle makes me laugh. So I know Kyle's gonna do whatever's good for him, and that's exactly what you should do.
I like Kyle.
Now it's
I think so too. You're right, Abby.
See, the thing is also though, you gotta think about it. I mean, he didn't tell. So I want to know what your opinions on this is as well, guys. I mean, he told the losers, and then everyone else, when they questioned him about it, I think it was Mona who questioned about it. He was like, yeah, like, you know, I'm not in a position to do da 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 da. They're like, so you do have a card. He was like, I didn't say I had it. I was like,
it cracked me up. I was like, okay, JP, so are we doing full honesty or we're doing a bit of lying? Because you already know everyone knows, so what are you doing?
I would just
everyone's
tell
gonna
everyone.
think you're an extreme snake at that point, right?
You got to.
It's gonna get out anyway. You know, no one's gonna keep it a secret.
To me, if I'm Mona, that means okay, JP don't trust me.
Exactly.
So why the fuck am I? Anyways,
they're gonna find out what it is. There's 5 people. They ain't gonna keep it a secret. They're gonna tell
no
somebody.
One's gonna keep it a secret. Just tell everyone at this point. And honestly, the advantage is just this like vote. I mean, it's nice. It's nice to know the vote or whatever. But like.
Sorry, Chanel, but it's not even worth it to have.
That's what I mean. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
No, me, Abby, same brain line. We got those.
Yeah, Chanel, winners.
Unless it's like a second switch or something, I don't think it's like worth it.
If it's not immunity, why have you got it?
Exactly. I don't care.
It's not doing nothing for you. So he should have leveraged it. And he should say next time I'm using it. So regardless what happens, I'm using it.
Get rid of it.
I would have read that shit and been pissed. I'm not gonna hold you up. The first card, and I just got exposed to get an exposed card. I'm supposed to vote.
You think I'm dumb?
Come on, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I guess that's what you get.
Huh?
Joseph just put a thing.
Yeah. So he said, "Do you think Mona cared at this point?" Like she said in the
not at that point, but let's say further along the game,
down the line, she might.
And then Mona has to decide between someone and JP.
I mean, that's a great opportunity to make everyone's like, oh yeah, he's on some bullshit.
That's what I'm saying.
But why vote somebody out like that when you know everybody about to vote him out? Yeah, I'm all about keeping somebody like that in. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, some people are team oriented. Some people are more selfish. I mean,
Sandra, I'm not about meat.
It really depends.
Okay, keep them in here.
I can't trust you. I don't want you here
for that reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if JP came up to me and I was like, "You got one," and you're like, "I didn't say I had one," I'll be like,
"My bitch."
If you go like this. If you see somebody isn't playing quote unquote that well in a game at that point, you have to identify that and really not be scared of it. You can go home from them making a bad choice sometimes, but if they're in the game over somebody who actually can have some social capital, you know, that could be bad for you later on. Type stuff.
I guess so, but I'm just petty.
No. And also, like, I feel like anyone can get their foot in the game and start playing better.
Exactly.
JP, it would just take him, like I said, it would take one of them bottom people winning, then being on the top, they're getting, and like, it would just take that little shift. So it's like, everyone should be a threat, even if it
Everyone
looks
was
like they
cast for a
made a
reason.
mistake. They're still a threat.
Exactly.
Like JP's a threat because first of all, you're in the game. You're not even trying to chat to me. You're looking for my I'm mad, JP. I'm mad at the interviews we got, bro. I'm absolutely mad. Laurel and JP.
No, you're right. Everyone was cast for a reason. They're probably all social players. Like, you know, everyone's gonna have a bad moment at some point, and in the JP's case, it was this moment. So just because I'm, kicking him out now, I don't think it makes any difference. But again, I'd rather just kick someone out that I can't trust at that point, because like I don't know where your head, I don't know where your head's at. Yeah, I don't know where your head's at. If you can't even tell me an advantage that's not that important, like, or that's not, it's important, but that's not keeping the secret for. Like, what if there's a big one, or I need you to?
That's what like, it's a shit advantage.
Yeah.
So like, and when it gets played, they're gonna know, and it's like, oh, so when I asked you, right out, it's not even like it was like a pass. Like I right out asked you,
not or anything.
Yeah. I can see where he's saying, because I think it's just like it. Oh, it's an advantage. Like I don't think it was to him. I don't think it was like what the advantage was about. It was just like, it's an advantage.
Like threatening.
No, y'all can have this shit.
I'm saying that shit back.
We saw people like Madison. She had like 2 advantages last season, and
she was back.
So she didn't tell nobody what it was. Everyone was scared to like vote her out, but JP kind of like lost the power in that. Like he kind of told everyone, "It was like this."
Yeah, he should have yeeted that card. Like just like, yeah, it's this. Bye. Like I don't.
It's either tell everyone. It's either A, you tell everyone what it is, which you didn't, or B, just get rid of it. Just like use it and flush that joint, because everyone's gonna like look at.
But again, I think he's done well coming back from messiness.
Yeah, we'll have to see the next episode, like where he
how
goes
the alliances are panning out and stuff. But
but that's our JP segment. So
love you, JP.
So to go in with the 3 main people who are honestly like these are like the 3 people who are really up for elimination, because the 5 people, they're not voting each other out. It was Robin, Nathan, and Austin. Honestly, Nathan wasn't ever going to go anywhere. I think out of the 3 of them, it seemed to be between Austin and Robin. I did like what Nathan did here. And I saw a little bit of this in his Meet Me video, but he really did kind of embrace like, I need to like play for myself. And he went to the 5 people, because Austin and Robin were just standing there. They're like, I'm going to go talk to them. And, he pitches about like, oh, I missed my graduation, which some people didn't care about.
I didn't care about.
That's like, no, okay, we need to talk about JP. Funny as fuck. JP was like, so we're in COVID. No, anyway, shut up. Exactly. Why are you telling me, bro? No one cares.
I mean, Matt seemed to care. I mean,
wait, Matt cared. Okay, I missed what Matt cared.
He seemed to care.
Funny.
I'll give him that. So I mean, he seemed
cared about college. No, I'm joking.
And then I love this part.
Nathan also went through a lot to get there, though. So I would hate to be President Boo if I was Nathan, and tire popped and everything. Like that would have been sick. So I feel him on that, but I didn't see Nathan going nowhere either. To be honest.
Were you about to say, Abby?
Oh, just in my notes, I wrote Nathan's campaign equals tattoo, because that's all Nathan was doing. My tattoo, it means an oath or something. Like, I don't break my promises. And he went to everyone and he said, my tattoo. I was cracking up, because I was like, what is going on in here? But it worked. So
I didn't think I saw the tattue until later.
Also,
and then I was no, I was saying I didn't see it till later, and then I didn't realize it was like a Kingdom Hearts tattoo, and I was just like,
yeah,
I didn't know. What it was.
I was like, Chanel's been playing Kingdom Hearts. I'm like, oh, okay.
I was like, what's the sword? Like, he keeps going around.
It's the Oath Keeper. Sorry, hold on. Let me nerd out for a second. It's the Oath Keeper Keyblade from Kingdom Hearts. That's why he keeps his oath.
Oh, so that's why he was saying like, I keep the okay.
Yeah.
So now if I didn't know Kingdom Hearts, I'll be like, why are you showing me a knife? Saying like,
yeah. What is this? What is this?
What's going on?
I thought he was gonna have a confessional where he was like, "This tattoo doesn't mean jack."
Because
no, it does. He's right.
I said Nathan showed it to Keaton, and Keaton was like, "Well, I'm not gonna trust you now." So I was like, "Wait, what?"
No, I feel if I hear that if you tell me that and I hear you saying it 3 other people in my ear,
Like,
I'm like, wait, what? Like,
Yeah,
oh,
that's only if
how many else you gonna make?
make?
Shout out to Keaton for being like, what the hell?
But that was it. But that was in the beginning. That was before it was the campaigning stuff. I swear. It was like after the
early
challenge,
check-in,
maybe?
I think too.
Yeah, I think it was an early check-in. You're right.
When he was trying to make an alliance with like Jada and someone else. Yeah.
Mhm.
But I love this moment here. Austin and Robin were like, "Why are we just standing here? Like, we're not gonna let you like fight for your life." So
That's what we're all thinking.
And they just came over. They just stood there like
we were like,
"That shit was funny as hell." I was cracking up. They looked like the fucking standing emoji. That shit was funny.
I was like, "Oh," Robin looked like she was ready to hurt somebody. I was like, "Oh,
yeah,
that was funny." And then right afterwards, we just see the same people. They're like, "Yo, like we're safe, hey!" And then. So it was just like it was a mess. You see some small cool stuff here, like Edmund and Nicholas are like, we're not going to get voted out. Sorry, good luck to y'all.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So first of all, Nick is so funny because this is what I mean. Like, he's such a social player. Like, he did that just so they would remember. Oh, when I was feeling down in the dumps, Nick came over to me and was like, was nice about it. Did Nick need to do that? Not really. Is it going to make much of a difference? I don't think so. But I do love that Nick thinks like in that type of way. Like, he's just trying to make everyone happy and comfortable, etc. Because it's good in a social game. Also, I'm very annoyed with these confessionals because I found out Nathan is half Asian and so is Laurel. So like, where is this minority information in the
They snuck that in there.
A lot of Asians see them.
I'm getting pissed off because because Laurel I would have definitely picked Laurel.
I had no idea that they were even like Asian. I was like, oh. I was like, okay.
because
and that was a good. I like that Nathan went up to Kyle and was like, "We come from similar backgrounds." I was like, "Yes, you better use the minority." Yes, we should all be together. Nathan, take that up. That's what I have to say. I'm happy that there were so many Asians. I wish they would have said, like, why are you not telling us?
Connections. Make connections. If you had the 1 minute combo at the beginning of the game. Connected.
I was saying, Robin was being so fake because they showed Robin talking, and then Robin was like, "Oh yeah, when I said I was gonna put y'all, I really mean I was gonna put Laurel's ass up."
Yeah, sounds about. Did you say Robin said that?
Yeah,
sounds
I mean, I said ass, but I was like I was gonna put Laurel up. I was like, oh shoot, okay, like that's Robin. Yeah,
that is Robin.
Austin was like, these are the people I spoke to all the time, and so I'm not gonna campaign. Like he said, I'm not gonna campaign, and I was just like, Austin, hello, do you know where you are? We're in the game right now. So at that point, I was like, great, Austin fucking going home, right? Because sorry, spoilers.
I mean, we're basically at that point. So we get to the votes real quick. Austin felt like he was just safe. He was like, I've talked to everybody. I don't really need to put in much work. And it bit him in the butt, unfortunately.
I feel like he just did enough of what he thought was enough. He
it wasn't
covered ground with enough people, wasn't in the bottom. Yeah. He was like, I should be chilling. And then when the save card happened, he kind of like, ooh, I might go home here because I don't know. I didn't feel like he fought a little, as hard as he could have fought, but that's my opinion.
I'm pissed off because I thought Austin coming. I thought you were a gamer, bro. Like, so why are you not going up? Like, you're up for elimination. You shouldn't just sit back and be like, I have these people's votes. No, you don't fucking know that, bro.
You never. Things can change so quickly. That's like I know there was a lot of general talk at the beginning because you could tell after, like he was exiting, he was like, I had like so many conversations, but that's the beginning, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean anything. You gotta, as soon as you get in, you get in that house and you're look how much time they had at the balloon game. Look how much time you had at the balloon game, right? You were with that one group because the balloon game they said 2 hours.
Oh my god.
It took 2 hours.
Oh, that's right.
I would have went crazy.
I'm strategizing.
Why did they not bring the fucking things forward? No one can aim there.
After like the second time they couldn't get out. Like, okay, let's bring this 10 feet forward.
Yeah, you had 2 opportunities with your group. You had an opportunity when the the final people were there, then you had time to chat with more people. So it's just like you're always chatting because you want to see where people's heads are at all the time and see where you're at, right? So, Austin, how can you do this to our team?
I'm pissed. I'm so glad I didn't pick him. I was like, oh God.
But I get it. I think he felt confident enough going in that he didn't have to have those conversations. But like, it's such a small pool, right? It was Robin, Austin, Jules, and Nathan. It's so small. I know I'm Austin, bestie.
He thought the hot tub was gonna save him.
Yeah. Fair enough. Hot tubs save a lot of people.
Oh,
yeah,
I would love to know if, because you know, editing can misdrew things and you don't really know, but I'd love to know who out of the 5 people who their targets were, like at the beginning, like when they started strategizing for the vote, because we know that Keaton's was Austin, and we know that Jules said that they didn't want to vote for Austin. So I was just wondering, like, who everyone else really wanted to vote for, if it was just really Keaton just pushing Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say,
because it'd be interesting if Austin was safe and then Nathan's campaign like was like, oh, we got to keep Nathan because he's at least trying, because that's the type of person I would be. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I will say like Robin, I guess, had just enough like social capital to keep themselves from being voted out, because Keaton like was just like, no, absolutely not, I'm not voting for Robin.
I think everyone there probably said no Robin.
Yeah. Exactly. So they said no Robin because, you know, Robin has that mist. So, you know, me and Abby have no problem voting for Robin, but
Okay.
I do. I find it hard though.
Yeah, I do find it hard. Once in a while.
I'll do it in a live game.
During that challenge, they did keep moving it up, and they still missed it.
Yeah.
Oh, did they?
That's it.
Yeah, but Nathan had a good campaign. I think Nathan came in and was like, here's my case. And if someone's actually going to come in and then the other 2 people are like, yeah, me too.
Yeah, but the person with the better case need to go home.
Jules as well. It's going to be hard. Like, say you're trying to fight for something, they're not even fighting. So it's like, then what am I going to do?
Exactly.
Listen, and I honestly, they did not seem to care once they were like, I remember even Mona was like, honestly, I don't care who's getting voted out. I'm just worried about where I'm just
where's my lunch.
They didn't care.
I think the most important question is, I want to know what they ate for lunch. Was it pizza? Was it microwave?
Do y'all get fed better than Redacted? Because in a certain other YouTube show, they were
I just need to know if they were fed
pizza roll. Y'all get more than pizza rolls?
Oh my god, that pizza rolls.
Not the pizza rolls.
I mean, did they lie though? Did they lie? That's the real question. But
Austin said, "Bring it up."
Austin said, "Bring it up."
Austin said, "I think Nathan's campaign actually did really help him."
Yeah, no, Isaiah brought that up. Yeah, we agreed. Yeah.
But there you go. Everybody but I think JP voted Nathan.
Okay.
I said Nathan. Oh my god.
Voted
Austin.
You know it. We knew you
and basically Austin was like, yeah, everyone who voted me, y'all can sit down.
Oh no, it's sad because JP went
like,
to give
you
Austin
losers.
a hug. JP went to give Austin a hug, and Austin was like,
like coach.
You know, I really like how they edited that part where like while the hugs are being given and stuff, they're showing everyone his vote. I was like, yes, I needed that.
Mm-hmm.
Other shows don't give us that. I like that.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
Do you think they tell them vote counts?
I doubt it.
I think it was 4-1.
Do you think they told
them?
If anyone production's here, let me know. Did they tell y'all vote counts?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I want to know.
But closing thoughts before we get to this interview. What is everyone's thoughts on Austin's game here?
Bestie, I love you.
Let me mute myself, child. Oh,
Bestie, I love you, but I don't know what you were thinking. Oh, they didn't say vote. I know. I know. Okay. I know. I think Austin, I know Austin. Austin's a very good player. Austin's very social. I think Austin got a little bit too comfortable in this situation, in the sense that he because at first he was safe. Right. But if I had seen myself as the bottom 3 of the safe people, I probably would have had alarm bells there.
Back, man.
I would have. I probably would have. That probably would have started that like game bot in me to be like, I need to make sure that I'm talking to people. And then when he got thrown down, he should have been talking to the five like immediately, like, hey, let's chat, let's whatever. So I think you got a little bit too comfortable, which I understand because you had really good conversations like at the very, very
I'm sorry, I don't
beginning.
understand.
Yeah.
It's day one, and bruv, all my notes. Let me see if Austin was in a solid alliance with any of these people in the fucking 5.
Mm-hmm.
I think Austin was relying on the connection with Robin.
Yes, but like Robin's also
in
danger. So like, what are you?
No, I think Austin overall came in. I think he thought he was gonna be able to play slow. I think that's probably how like his gameplay is. You know, you get your footing in, you take your time. Over time, you get like a bigger connection. But I don't think he realized how fast it's about to be, and you know, it snuck up on him. Most definitely, especially when he became in the bottom. When he wasn't in the bottom, you had to kick it in high gear. And I know you, I feel like I know you cool, Robin, but it's like it was like he didn't put up. I feel like he didn't put up no fight at all.
He didn't, and I'm annoyed because what are you doing?
Well,
first of all, there was a lack of self-awareness. Lack of self-awareness, and he said he was naive as well. Yeah, we didn't see everything. Okay, so he was weighing too much on the connection he made in the all community. Oh, wait. Okay, sorry. Why did I think that was someone in the game?
I mean,
it was like, how many people there were from the all community that like rode with Austin like that?
I mean, so Austin did say that he thought. In his confessional, like apparently there was some moment in the hot tub. You know, even in his whole exit like speech about Matt and cryptocurrency and all that stuff. I mean, he thought he put enough work in. I think Austin,
was there alliance? Yes or no? Did you have alliance with the people in the 5? I need to know. Did you make any deals with people who were voting for you? Yes or no? Austin, please comment.
Based off of perception, it seemed like Austin might have spoken to people about like life and like social bonds, but didn't talk game enough with some people. Maybe with the people in power who actually had an impact. There you go. So that's possibly a factor.
Listen, Austin, and
Jules, we're just Jules said they knew they was outnumbered in the vote and that they had to let Austin go.
I know.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just has to go that way.
Yeah, heartbroken.
So there you go. But there are possibly some other questions. So I have a quick 12-minute interview with Austin I'm going to play right now. Or do you guys want to do our rankings first, or do you want to do the interview then the rankings? You want to do the rankings real quick? Interview? Oh, I can play the interview. Why not?
Let's do the interview first.
Anyone else?
All right, yeah.
Then it gives us a reason to stick around, you know.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, we can talk about it, do the rankings.
Here is I actually spoke to Austin
earlier. Austin just said, I did not put it up, Isaiah, if you can. Sorry, I did not make official alliances with them. So why the fuck are you in the confessionals? Talk about we had a really good moment. It's gonna be fun, bitch. You're pissing me off. How many games you played? How many games of these are you hosted? Austin! Oh my god, I'm so upset. It makes me want to throw up. Austin.
Oh my god,
I'm angry. You should at least been third boot, not first. Gosh, anyways.
Oh my god.
So there you go. I'm gonna play Austin's interview real quick. It's about like 10-12 minutes, and then right afterwards we'll go to our ranking, and then Chanel will draft her new replacement, and we'll end it off. So without further ado, real quick, here is my interview with Austin. Hello, everybody. We are here with our first exit interview of the season of Penthouse Season 4. We are here with Austin. Austin, how are you doing?
I'm doing interesting. I'm just kidding. I'm doing pretty good. Definitely a very fun episode. Not how you want things to turn out in life, but I had a lot of fun doing it. So
all right. So I mean, we just got a couple questions for you. So basically, first of all, congratulations, you got on the show. I know not a lot of people could say that. I know that it was probably like a long process. Just run me through, who you are as a person, and then just like the thoughts of actually getting on the show real quick.
Yeah, so essentially, I mean, I think you guys discussed this on the cast assessment and draft, but a lot of my background with this type of community comes from the Twitter community. I think a lot of my application process is kind of surrounding my Twitter sphere, celebrity status. So I think that definitely had to do with my casting. And then also I think I am a very good representative of like the Gen Z general population. I kind of fit every stereotype about that age group that there is. So I think it's kind of like, what would the younger generation do if they were playing these strategy games? And so I was kind of a good and really bad first example of what that would look like. So I think it had a lot to do with my age also, and just the fact that I kind of am this really, I can kind of look like a dumb bitch sometimes. And I think I proved that to them, and I think that's what they were expecting when they cast me, probably.
Well, I think you were fine. I thought it was fine.
Thank you.
So basically, on the early checkout, before we even get to like the challenge and everything, what was your idea of going into that? Because we saw a lot of people like talking to each other. I saw that you like gravitate more towards the people like Robin that you knew. Just run me through your mindset with that real quick.
Yeah, so the people that I gravitated to the most were probably Robin, just because I knew them, and that was the only person I knew. I really gravitated towards Xena because of the Phoenix, Arizona connection. I had a really like fond interest in Mona, just because she's such a loud, like bold personality, and those are the people that I kind of love to work with. People that I weren't gravitating towards as much would probably be Nathan and Laurel. So going into the first competition, those were probably two people that I didn't want to see win. Wink, wink. But the first challenge was definitely not for me. Like, as soon as I walked out, I knew I wasn't going to win it. Anything that requires me to do anything with my arms, it's just not going to happen. But I love seeing my face on the big billboard. I wish I got to keep that, but we didn't get to keep those. So kind of sad about it. But
you killed it. Hey, look, I thought that you were doing a fine job. Now, obviously, the one smallest area that you did lack was talking to Laurel, who eventually, as you saw through the competition and all that, won. And the words you used was Laurel winning is a choice. How worried were you that you could have been in the bottom at that moment?
In the moment, I was very stressed. I knew that I wasn't on her bad side because I had talked to her more than some people. So I knew I wasn't going to be like the very last person, but I thought I could fall in that realm of like the bottom 5. But for me, looking back now, like I was in the 6th ranking, like I was the last person. And now I'm like, damn, I kind of wish that I had pissed her off a little bit more because then I would have been fucking safe. But it's fine. Because I was like, damn, if I was in the bottom 5, I would have had an even better chance of staying, which is kind of so funny, but that's how the game works.
Now, I mean, in theory, if the whole Jewel situation didn't happen, you probably would have been safe. But obviously that's not what the card was dealt. When first of all, during that whole Jules exchange and all that stuff, I'm sure that was probably like a wild time. When they came back with the power and basically revealed everything to you guys, what was going on?
I was just like, damn, it really could have been any other twist, and I would have been safe. So it was just like, just a slap in the face. Also, I do want to talk about like the Jules Laurel fight.
Yeah.
When we were in there, it was actually way longer than it was in the episode. Like they would not stop arguing with each other. I think it lasted like 10 minutes.
Oh wow.
So they had a way rougher exchange than what was depicted. But no, I felt worried, but I mean, I'm pretty authentic and genuine in my confessionals that I saw. Like, I genuinely did feel really safe based on the connections I had made. Just because, like, it's hard to explain, but I was with that bottom 5 so much more than Nathan was. Like, as soon as that twist was revealed, I was like, oh, Nathan's first boot. Sorry, bestie. Like, me and Robin were pretty confident, so it was kind of a shock.
Wow. Well, I mean, we can also talk about that a little bit because basically you guys are all standing there and ultimately Nathan was like, all right, I'm just going to take the first shot and go pitch to them. And you and Robin waited a little bit. You're like, why are we letting him do this? So you guys Yeah, like you guys want to go interrupt
That's what I
them.
mean.
Were you worried that Nathan could have been throwing you under the bus or like what?
Yeah, I mean, you guys will see. Nathan is a very just like, I don't know how to explain it. He's not a charmer. Like he's really not even like manipulative, but he has this quality that just like, I don't know. I've never seen it before. He has like a very dominant like personality. That's all I can really say. I haven't really seen much of his like dynamic in a game before.
Yeah.
But he does have like that emotional quality to him that I think is really good for people like Jules, because I think Jules like thrives off of that emotion. So I kind of wish I was a little more empathetic, which is why I think Nathan did so well, like the tattoo shit. But I just didn't have it in me. I guess I'm not an empathetic person. I learned this in the show too. But I was like, damn, I don't know how to like build emotion. Like I just flew here to Arkansas to have some fun. Like this guy's talking about missing his graduation. Like I wouldn't really care if I miss mine. So I don't really know what to say. But I think yeah, for Jules, like people like that, he had a good grasp on them for sure.
So I mean, afterwards, basically, we see that you think that you put in enough work to be safe. And obviously that wasn't the case. It ended up with you getting eliminated. We saw your little speech about the cryptocurrency and the whole thing, basically. So, I mean, basically, you told everyone to sit down that voted you out, don't get up. Basically, your final thoughts, basically, before you got eliminated, your closing statement, just anything.
Yeah, so it's funny, like, there's so many, like, kind of memeable moments at the end. But during, like, when we were there filming, everyone thought that, like, my big moment was gonna be the part where I, like, immediately stood up and I was pointing at all of them, and I was like, stupid, stupid, stupid. But, like, the camera angle kind of didn't work with that, but it's fine. But I've always been a very dramatic person in games. It's something that I can't help. I like have this really bubbly persona, but I can be like super confrontational, like especially when I'm pissed off. And I don't know, like JP like opening up his arms and like asking for a hug, I was just like, absolutely not. That was not the time. Like I did not have it in me. Like I'm the type of like it's hard for me to like disguise like how I'm actually feeling and like put on like a nice face. Like if I'm mad at you, like I'm going to tell you that I'm mad at you. So like I was not in the mood to hug them. And so I kind of just let it go. But the reason why I was the most mad at Matt, it's just because he's like the most silly to me. And also like I literally had like slept in the same room as him the night before.
Oh man. Okay.
And literally, I kid you not, he was talking to me about Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency system for like 2 hours. And I had dedicated time to him because he, like, out of the whole cast, Matt is definitely someone that in real life I would probably not speak to as much, like not gravitate towards. So I put in that extra effort with him. And even with like the extra hours of dedication, it still didn't pay off. So that's why I was most pissed off. And I also think it was really dumb for his game because it's not really able to be shown in the edit, but like he had barely spoken to Nathan. And that is what like really just like me and Nathan are practically the same person. Like we're both like Nathan's a drag queen. We're both like kind of femme. We're both like twinks. We're both like white and Asian. Like we're basically like the same archetype. He just has like a raspier voice. So like it just didn't connect with me at all why he did that. So that's why I was so upset. So yeah.
Well, I mean, you still had the experience. You're an iconic first boot. What are your closing thoughts after episode 1 is over?
Yeah, so okay. I have promoted this a lot. And I did it for a reason, not just so you guys could see me flop. Because I genuinely think the rest of this season is like really crazy, really insane, something we've never seen before on any like actual like reality TV show. If you're into like the super dramatic like Bravo TV, E! News, like television shows, like you're looking for Real Housewives, keep watching this season because I can't tell you how many arguments, how many fighting, how many like crying scenes there are. Like people are so emotional and dramatic in this season. Like I can't stress it enough. Like there are some quality moments that are very intense. So I would just say to keep watching, even if I was your favorite, I think it's worth it to keep watching.
All right, we're gonna see you guys next time. I'm sure I already closed out the whole thing, but this is Austin. Austin, thank you so much for coming and just to talk to me for a little bit. Appreciate you. And like I said, very happy to see you on now. We never interacted before, but I was like, oh, I know who Austin is.
I know. I see you around all the time. Invite me to do one of your podcasts. I'll show up.
Oh, absolutely. All right, but until next time, bye.
Bye.
So that was my interview with Austin earlier today. Shout out to Austin for letting me do that.
So
that was fun.
cute.
Yes. So lastly, we can just do our tier list and then we can close out. Let me get my screen share ready. Actually, I'll show this too while
are we doing draft update?
Yeah, draft update as well. I thought I commented this on the episode. I said this is cryptocurrency. So I just wanted to help my bestie invest in his bright future. So real quick, Austin is eliminated.
Chanel is lucky.
Chanel, you can pick either Laurel or Audrey for your next pick though. And so which one do you want?
I want some spice. I'm gonna take my girl Laurel. I'm so sorry, bestie.
Not the spice.
I also sleep on the weekends.
So Laurel joins the team Chanel. Me, Ganjo, and Abby. Obviously, it's only one episode, but remain untouched. And lastly, first time of the season, we are going to do a tier list. So let me update this real quick. We are going to rank basically everyone in the house real quickly, because I don't want to keep you here too long. But we're going to rank everybody from S to F.
Isaiah,
so
you're missing a player. You're missing a player.
Who?
You're missing Nathan's tattoo. That's
Period.
Nathan's tattoo is the next player.
So Austin is eliminated. All right,
What
so
does
first
S
one,
mean, like Supreme.
Yeah, really
Superior.
good.
S is the best, F is the worst. So
There ain't no S's here yet.
you gotta be
we're
like
going from good to worse.
yeah. So it's this S is like Tiffany Mitchell, F is like DF.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
Correct.
So,
No. DF is like
Frenchie.
non-existent on the
Frenchie.
board.
DF ain't even on the team.
Not even on
Yeah.
it.
So all right, what do we want to put Audrey, y'all? How do we feel about Audrey? I mean, she seems to be very a like self-interested player. She got herself into that deal. She's not bad at comps so far, at least. How do we feel about Audrey?
I wish there was a BC because she fits right there. That's what I think.
You think
I
so?
think we
I think
top
she's
I
two.
will throw her up. And the only reason I say I will throw her up at near
where?
A B area. Listen,
C.
Well,
That's why I said I wish there's a BC.
she
I think
she don't even know how she got in the top, but she in there and she gonna roll with it. Come on,
My
She
accidental
need-
social game, my bad.
Okay.
she did 8 because I even wrote in my notes like, wow, she got in the guest list just by nodding. Iconic. But that was a bit of luck there. Like she was just, can she do that again next episode? That's
It
Is
what
sounds
her
like
high
a
C?
B then. That's
I
like
give her a B.
a
I give her a
B.
B.
I
I
see,
give
I
her
see.
a B.
I see.
we'll do B and then
All right, there you go.
Okay.
For now, she might get bumped to the back of
All
B.
right.
I'm very picky. I'm very picky. I have high standards. When he said A, I was like, absolutely not.
Listen, I
Absolutely
respect
it's
not.
not
the
A, I'm
game,
sorry,
though.
but it was very iconic. That's why I said CB because I don't think she's low.
No, I agree,
C
I agree.
At all. I think she did well.
It's a B minus. Is that
Yeah,
the
for
middle?
sure.
Okay, that's
Everyone else
fine.
in B is above her. Okay, who
All
next?
right. How are we feeling about Edmund?
Edmund.
Behind
So
Audrey.
look, Edmund in a good
Not
spot,
behind-
but messed up because people probably don't think he was.
he's
But
in a good spot, though.
Oh fuck, I don't know. I'm doing C for Edmund. Sorry,
Mhm.
Okay.
it has to be C for me. I don't think there was anything.
I think it's a
spectacular.
very slim line of like
Yes.
he's barely on C. Should be
Yeah.
a B, in my opinion. Like should be a B. It's like the itty bitty,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
that much.
He's like top C.
Yeah. How we feel about Jada?
Miss
I think
Jada.
Front of B.
No,
No,
it's
C.
A,
I think she's
baby.
an A.
I think she's
C?
a C.
No, it's A.
An
baby.
A.
It's
See?
As a returner, the way she has managed to manage her target, very, very, very good. Especially because her herself, she thought she was going to be in the bottom, and then Tutu, she smack bang in the middle, and she was like the safest of probably all of them.
She's
except for
chilling.
the
She's
fucking
Okay,
chilling.
yeah.
but
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
maybe
You're
A
right.
might be
I'm
too
good-
much.
I'm-
there.
I'm
Maybe
A
good
is
to
too
go
high
A.
though. A is too
Maybe
high.
B.
That's why I
We
said
can
I
put
said
her
in
top
front of
of
I
B,
said high
top
B.
of B.
High B.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
B. Maybe B. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fine,
Because if Chanel saying C, she can't be
Nah,
A.
yeah, you're good. She's not in that core group
I will do the
either.
middle
Mhm.
ground.
No, she's
Yeah,
not in the core group.
we'll
She's
You
not in the
know,
core
the
group
only reason I
either.
said C, I was like, what happened?
but
I forgot she
Chanel,
was there.
I'm here to tell you what happened.
I
with
forgot
Jada,
she was
baby.
there.
C,
Um,
bro.
how about Jules? Jules had an explosive first
Oh,
episode.
bit juice. Oh, it's got to be F. No,
Yeah.
No, I'm giving D energy.
I'll
give
I'll
her
give
a
it
D.
D. I wish
Yeah.
there was
I'll
a
give it a D.
middle. F is
Yeah.
too low, but yeah, D.
Only because they was in the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there's in the bottom, but I think they can come back from it. So.
I think so too. And
Yeah.
they did make, and the reason they're not down in F is because they did the right thing by keeping JP.
Mhm.
100%.
They did the
Yeah.
risk
Well
there.
done.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
When Jules said, sorry, but that whole thing with Jules was just hilarious because Jules was like, "Well, some people can't keep their promises, but I can." Yes.
Yeah.
All right, how about John? He's like a C,
No,
right?
B?
I'm giving B. I'm giving B.
Where was he, bro?
B.
I saw him
B?
3 times.
He insulated himself in some situations.
I
What?
wish
You
there was
feel
a
me?
B.
Was Zena?
He
Wasn't he in the guest list?
no.
Damn.
No.
I mean, all right.
Well,
No,
that's
it
why I
wasn't-
said
no,
B.
it
Yeah,
wasn't.
because basically it's Xena, John, and Mark. Right? No, his name's Matt.
No,
though.
he wasn't in the guest list because he beat Edmund.
Yeah, John
So, I
is
mean,
in the guest list.
he
He
seems
should
cool
be
with
B,
Xena.
C. I'm gonna.
I would say top of C. Cause like he's cool with Xena, but he's not in the. I feel like if you're not in that core group, you're not A or S.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but
Is that fair to
yeah,
say?
I agree. But you guys have got to remember that Xena and John made like a deal, and then they split up to get different people.
Mhm.
So Xena's group is
He
them
might be
people.
a B
but
then.
we've not even seen who John's group is. Yet.
I think he's in B. I
He
put him
might
in
not have
between
a group,
Jada
though, yeah.
and
Yeah, I would
He
put
might
him.
not have a
Yeah,
I'll put him
John,
right
yeah,
here.
between them
Yeah.
two as well, yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think he's
Right.
C, honestly. I don't think.
Yeah, well,
any
we've
higher than that.
compromised, bitch.
Lord, all right, I'll equal it out.
Wait. You think
Right
Audrey
there.
above him, Chanel?
No.
Oh,
Yes.
then we give it
So
right
then
there.
how's Audrey? So Audrey should be.
Oh,
C
you
then.
think both of them should drop down?
I don't think John should be a B.
We're sure.
I-
I just don't think he did anything wrong.
And
I
the,
think
the
John
only
would do
reason,
it better than-
okay, if he is a B, I'll put him at the bottom of the B only because you're like, okay, he split up to do different groups, right?
Mhm.
Or they
Right, he's
split-
not really. Yeah, he didn't really.
He's
do
not
Okay.
in that group yet, though. So it's just like he's in Xena's
Yeah, we
group.
don't really, yeah, put him.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, put him at the bottom of B.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because he didn't, and he also didn't make the guest list, so he can't be above.
He
someone
did
who
make
made
the guest list. He did make the guest.
Oh, he
list.
did make the guest list. Okay,
Yeah, all the
sorry.
it was Audrey, John. Who's the other two?
In
Xena, right?
Phaedra. Also, reminder: this is a
Phaedra.
very fine line for anyone's watching. This is the first episode.
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
gonna be
it is
so
the
much
first
work.
episode.
Still got a lot of work with. All right, how about JP? How do we feel about
F.
JP?
Oof. I was gonna put him in D, but I can
Yeah,
concede to
yeah.
that. I can
Nah,
concede
he's
to
got
that.
me at F.
For
He's
I actually
so-
do think he's going to raise up, but
He
for
will.
now-
Mhm.
Yeah, but this
Please-
episode was bad. For
Please,
me.
players, if you see this and you're like, "What the fuck?" It changes, okay?
Yeah, it will change if you get better.
If you
So,
get better,
Ooh.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Please
if
don't
you
be
look,
offended.
these are so accurate. Don't even come for us because you will
Okay.
actually try to come for us. I dare you.
Yeah.
I dare.
If
I'm
you
gonna
have
look at
first
you.
Like when
impressions-
we used to cover
These are very
Redacted,
accurate.
they would come for us. I would be like, oh shoot. Julia.
Who?
It's-
No, I'm joking. See, there's a lot of
It's
people.
giving
that-
high C.
That's like the most neutral player there is.
Yeah,
right
it's giving
now.
high
was
C.
like, there he
Yeah.
is.
above Edmund.
Yeah,
for
like
sure.
right there in the middle. Like
I just think she just didn't get enough content to know what's really
No.
going
I was like,
on.
I for some reason for the longest time I thought she was in the bottom, and I was like, why is no one talking about? Why is she not? Why is no one talking about voting her out? And I'm like, oh, she's not in the bottom. Look, I forgot.
Julia is like so in the middle right now.
Yeah.
No, you guys are actually right because I remember in the beginning, Chanel and Ganju said like they didn't show everyone, and I'm clocking you're actually right. But it's just because
Exactly.
I remember Julia and John, but they were like barely fucking shown.
The only thing I
Yeah.
remembered about Julia was that she talked about how
Laurel
Laurel was Filipino. That's all I remember.
Yes, yeah, and the East Coast Alliance.
Yeah,
that
the
was
East
it.
Coast was like, also we have the connection because Laurel's Filipino. I was like, oh my god, Laurel's Filipino.
Yeah, I was like,
and I was
wow,
like, you said that
Asian.
again?
Why they keep dropping it in there? Like it's a little tidbit.
I know.
I don't get it.
More info.
How about Keaton?
He did pretty
See,
good.
That's what I'm saying. It's weird.
I think
It's like
he's
it's
higher
weird,
than I think he's C, but he's the highest, honestly.
Yeah.
But he was at the bottom out of these.
He's
people.
not
weird,
highest.
though,
Yeah,
bro.
he can't be highest because
But
he's
it's
in the bottom.
weird.
He's
Yeah.
got-
Okay, but he's in the bottom.
But
But
he
he navigated
ate
the bottom
the
really
bottom.
well, and
Yeah,
he
he
changed the
did.
bottom.
Yes,
I think.
yes.
That's why he's not D like Jules.
Yeah. Okay. You're right. No, you're right. You're right. I'll give it that.
I'm like very shocked that
Mhm.
but he
was-
actually did really
He
good
had
that
me
episode.
gagged. I was like, okay, so
Yeah. No, you're absolutely
Jane
right.
got,
This
but he
makes sense.
understands what she can do at certain points.
Oh, Kyle, did he have any screen time?
Who? No,
barely.
Another person who I just knew.
He's
because
straight in the middle, right? Like,
No, because he was in the bottom.
he was in the
I would
bottom.
put him in front of
God.
Jules.
Yeah.
To be
No,
honest.
no. He's behind Keaton, I think.
We behind Keaton.
Yeah, I agree.
He was in the bottom.
He-
He was
he-
probably the safest out of everyone in the front.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
did have a bond with like the other Asian people too. Like
He was the
Mhm.
who else was in the bottom? Keaton, Jules, JP, Carl, Matt. He was the safest one. Him
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
Matt were the
Yeah.
safest.
I don't think
so-
anyone was coming after Kyle.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why you know?
Wow.
But like I
no,
said,
not
Keaton
to
was
be
the
rude,
safest
but
of
there's other
safest.
people.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Keaton potentially took himself out of a bottom situation.
Exactly.
he really did. He
So-
was good. He did well. But
How
no,
about-
wait,
Oh, God.
no. It was. Yeah, it was Keaton and also Jules working against themselves. That helped Keaton.
Mhm.
So how are we feeling about Laurel?
Miss Laurel, let's get her to A.
Not S, not quite there yet.
Nah, she's definitely not there. Definitely.
Hmm.
I
Like,
think people
like,
gonna-
at the beginning, she
They-
did it really
I
well.
think she will drop
Well,
though.
listen,
Not to be
Yeah.
rude, I think
There
she
you
will
go.
definitely
I was
drop.
like, for this
Mhm.
episode,
Yeah,
I
just
agree.
this episode, but I don't.
But I
think
give
she's
her
gonna
a
be
B.
one
I give her a
test.
B range normally. Probably.
Just for this episode, I can see her dropping the B like immediately.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see her dropping
Yeah.
to be next.
I think
week for
after
sure,
that
Yeah.
argument, like,
Yeah.
you know,
That's why I couldn't
She
put
had,
her in
she
A.
had all the power. So
You know
she-
what? I'm actually very tempted to drop her to B. That argument.
no,
was
I think
good.
she's A here.
No,
She
I
played
think so.
I will give her A just because of the first half or the first.
is a
bit of
low
the
A.
She's
episode.
got the
So-
alliances,
Mhm.
and then
Okay.
look, she was
Exactly.
also she's got the alliances, that alliance, right? And then she was also the person who pitched to the four.
And she won a challenge.
Oh,
and
no.
then she actually won the challenge and kept those people.
But-
Anyway,
Mods.
hello. Anyway,
What? Child.
okay. Anyway, so
I just saw that question. I was like, what's going
anyway,
Sorry, I'm not a mod,
we had
so
a
I couldn't
troll.
do
We had
anything.
a troll in the chat. I
No,
gotta make
ignore it.
mods.
So
Sorry.
Laurel
Sorry,
has
we
her
have a
own
troll in
alliance,
the
and then
chat.
she was the one that made the deal with the people, and then she actually won the challenge, and she kept the people safe, which I found interesting because I thought she was going to keep her closest people at like in the guest spot and then put the people at the challenge, but she did it the other way. So I thought that was actually very smart of her.
That was
So it's
very
definitely given A for me. I'm sorry, she's much better than Jada. The people in B,
Yeah.
sorry, not.
Yeah, and
I
she was
didn't-
talking like the way she was interacting with people was very well.
I was shocked. I was like, wow, this game.
It was like
she-
nonchalant
Even-
gameplay. Like I
Even
loved it.
during the challenge, like when they were all like in
Mhm.
the what's it, fence? What are they on the dock?
The balcony.
Yeah,
Death.
Yeah, balcony. That's
Oh,
it.
it's really balcony desk. What the fuck on the desk?
So all right, Matt.
Get
How
off
are you
that
feel about
desk.
Matt? Matt's a D-lister, right?
Yes.
Behind, at least behind Kyle, but
Might gotta be, yeah. that's what I
Behind
think.
Kyle?
I mean, D. I think in
behind
front of
Kyle.
Jules or behind Kyle, but maybe
Okay,
in front of
okay.
Jules.
You know,
Yeah,
we don't
think
have
he
to-
was
Kyle
C?
in front of Jules.
What you know?
You saying?
But I don't
he's
think it's hard because he was in the bottom, but did he really?
I just
I feel
don't have
like
enough
he-
information about him. You know.
Yeah, it's not enough. And
I guess
yeah.
he got that connection though. He
I
has
just
an
don't know where the
alliance.
connections are besides the people in the bottom at this point.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Zena
Damn,
and
I
John
am
is his
tempted to
main
play it. I'll leave it.
connection.
I'll leave
Zena
it.
and John, and then
I'll leave it.
he's now got connection with the bottom.
Okay, yeah, I'll take
I'll
that.
leave it for now. For now.
I'll take
That's
that.
why I said Carl and Matt were the most safe of the 5 people in the bottom
Yeah.
because Like, if it was just a normal round and it was 5 people voting, Matt would have had the Xena and John rallying. Xena would have got into Laurel, so Matt would have been safe. No one was coming after Kyle, so it would have been down to Keaton, Jules, and JP. And JP
Yep, correct.
So Mona's an A, right? Or an S?
B.
B.
I think
Mona
high
A, because
standards.
Mona, first of all, nothing really happened, but Mona did get the switch,
Yep.
which does
Oh,
say that.
true. A.
That's what I'm saying.
That does say
he
that.
made a nice
A,
safe
but behind,
decision.
but are you saying in front of Laurel?
I say behind
I
Laurel.
would. I think Mona has a lot more pull than Laurel.
No.
Well, Laurel
No,
took
not
shot.
yet.
Is Mona
Not
in
yet.
that alliance? Not yet.
Laurel's in a good alliance.
Mhm.
And
Mona's in that alliance still. Mona, Xena,
Mona
and Nicholas started that. Yeah. It's Mona, Nicholas, Xena, Edmund, and Laurel.
Mona's
it was
in that
Xena-
alliance?
Yeah,
No,
Xena.
I didn't
Well,
know it
Laurel
was
started
my
it,
note.
didn't
My notes
Xena
only
was
say
in.
Laurel,
Xena started the alliance, and Xena started it with Nicholas and Mona. I could be tripping. We're gonna have to fact check.
Yeah, maybe,
I would still put
because I
Laurel
do remember
ahead.
a scene where
That's fine.
those 3 are in a room, Nicholas, Mona, and Thingy. But I must have blanked over.
I'd still put
I'll
Laurel
keep
ahead.
it.
I'd
That's
still
fair.
put
That's
Laura
fair.
ahead.
It's
Just
just
because
fair.
of the game talk.
Yeah, I agree.
Just because of the game talk. Mhm.
That's fine. Next is Nathan.
Nathan.
I
Nathan's a
say in
C.
front of Edmund.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say the exact same thing, Ganjo. Let's wake it the fuck up. Mhm.
Okay. I think that pic with the tattoo, it worked on them,
I
and
think people wanted his bull. You know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
I would be onto the bull too, but still, it got him out this
Yeah.
sticky
That's
situation.
what I'm saying. Yeah. He
Yeah.
knew exactly what to say to those people. That's all you need to do. You're in the bottom. You need to just get out
Period.
for the next round, then you can make moves, do whatever. He did what he had to do. Well done.
Okay.
Me
All right.
personally, I would have been like, I'd be like, what the fuck is that knife on your hand?
What is this knife on your arm?
Why are you threatening me? Like, I don't understand. But no, good for him. Good for him.
Nicholas.
It's hard. I feel like so many people weren't really sure.
I don't think anyone's an S tier player yet.
No,
definitely
not.
not. I don't think we're gonna get S for a while.
At all.
I'm getting high B for Nicholas.
I'll
Maybe
do
in
high
front of
B as well.
Jada.
Very good social.
Yeah, I put
Where
yeah,
was he
in front of
on the
Jada.
totem pole? He was
Above or behind Jada?
Above.
Above.
above Jada because he was above
Oops.
Jada on the totem pole as well.
Okay.
Because I found it interesting because her totem pole basically went like the 4 people who were in the challenge, and then it was like women.
Mm-hmm.
Nick, women. Okay, Nick.
All right. Phaedra.
Phaedra could be B2.
B. I don't know where in B.
I didn't get to talk about it. They put a shot of Phaedra's ass when she was.
Yeah.
I was like. Anyways, Phaedra, congratulations.
Phaedra's like bottom B. I don't know who our allies are, but she's in the fine spot.
No,
Yeah, her getting to the guest list. It's just. I feel like it's important for whoever gets picked early on are usually good social players. That's my take.
Especially with the Switch shit, yeah.
With the likelihood of you getting up there, like with the people playing, you had to be playing a strong game for the first person to put you up there. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. How about Robin? I think Robin's a C lister. I just don't know where. Like
I'm just trying to figure out where
I'm
Robin
debating
is on this list.
After Edmund,
in front. I'm debating in front or behind Keaton.
Robin.
That's what I was thinking.
In front of Keaton.
In front of Keaton.
I think
no,
in front
guys.
of Keaton. Mm-hmm.
Robin is high C. What are you talking about? I'm not being biased either.
How Robin was in the? She was.
Robin was the most.
Robin was second.
No one was even talking about Robin. Robin.
Yes, they were.
Who? Wait, who?
They were. If it wasn't Austin.
Robin was second last on the totem pole, like at the top or whatever.
They were talking about voting out Robin or Austin. That was the 2 people they talked about.
I say behind.
No one said. Who said Robin's name, please?
I don't know. I got to look at the confession.
Exactly. You're chatting Robin. No one said Robin. It was between Austin and Keaton. And Keaton was like, I'm not getting rid of
got you.
Keaton said I'm not getting rid of Robin. That's not.
All right. So where are we putting Robin at? In front of Edmund?
I think after Edmund.
Wait. No, Robin above Edmund.
Edmund's in the alliance though.
Is it because
Edmund wasn't in
look where Robin was on the poll, right?
And the
Robin
was also on the bottom.
Yeah.
That's why we're thinking,
Robin can be there. I forgot about the totem pole shit.
That's what I was trying to explain, Abby. I have to scream it at Abby so she understands me.
They had to keep pulling
Oh
up the
my
camera. Lastly, it's
Good for her.
Xena. Where we putting
Xena
Xena
to
Xena?
B.
Queenie, let's put her in
High B
A.
or low
And
A?
Actually, no,
no,
you're right.
she's-
A.
Baby, she's
I'm
A
doing low
and she's
A.
above Laurel. I don't care if I'm being
Yeah.
biased.
Made the alliance.
She ate all of that
Mhm,
without
mhm.
having to get switch or power. Bingo, bango.
She was even kind of
I
in
love
that
Xena.
Coast Alliance.
Yeah, she came and she said what the fuck she was gonna do.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that
say
too.
that again, Chanel?
I was saying she's kind of in
What did
that
you say?
Coast Alliance too, or like
Mhm.
Everything revolves around Xena. Look, this is just
yeah,
the
it
first
does
episode. So it could
exactly.
I agree.
And she did
Everything
great.
revolves
then.
around her right now. She has
Yeah.
the Laurel,
Yeah.
Mona Lisa, We're literally ranking everyone based on if they're in alliance with Xena, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And she
That's
did pretty
the
good in the
alliance.
challenge too. Like she was doing good with the slingshot and stuff too.
Yeah,
so
she
I
could
think she'll be a
have done
physical
well if
threat.
that person didn't get her
If
out.
this list doesn't show anything, this is a very open game right now.
Mhm.
Oh, absolutely.
I see this swapping
Yeah.
a billion times before the
Okay.
Oh yeah, I see a lot of people
Like
dropping
Like
up or
every
down.
reality show.
I'll say two, two,
So
two.
this is just a very neutral cast. Like, oh, I don't want to target anyone. It's all. That's all it is. But all right, there you go, everyone.
Can I
Thank
just
you.
say shout out not that many people in F or D. I think that really just shows
Yeah,
how
Okay.
great the cast is.
casting.
Everyone is really trying to play and they're doing well.
Mhm.
And even the people in F and D, Jules gave us good
Yes,
content.
and I see them
And
moving off
JP
as
gave us
well.
content.
That's
You
what
know
I'm
what I'm saying?
saying,
So there you go.
They did give us
But there you go. So yeah, thank you everyone who's been watching, stayed up with us for all this. This is a fun time. If you haven't already, please follow us on all of our social medias. This will also be posted on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, which should be linked inside the description or on our Twitter page. So please follow our Twitch page, our YouTube page, our Twitter, all that fun stuff. Every little bit helps. Thank you guys, yet again, joining us. Chanel, where can people find you?
Oh God, I didn't know I'd go first. You can follow me on all platforms, Coder Girl at Coder Girl Chan. I wasn't ready. You can find me mostly on Twitch. You can hang out with me there, playing lots of games there. And then on Twitter, mostly tweeting about my dog. I'm so sorry, and other stupid things. But it's great. Come check me out.
All right. Abby, where can people find you? What are you up to?
Oh my god, I wasn't ready.
Oh my god.
No,
That was so cute. People can find me there at Black Mist on Twitter. Yeah, that's about it. I'll just be talking shit. Power.
All right. And lastly, Ganja, where can people find you? What are you up to?
Yeah, I'll just be chilling. You can find me at Ganja the Dank. I'll be tweeting bullshit, having fun. You can also follow me on my social strategy game page at the Monarch Game. You want to hop in for an hour-long game, you have fun, and you can, potentially get a dub.
All right. Lastly, you can follow me at 8Ball Bangers on all platforms. See me typing about what reality TV usually complaints or video games or music or something. I have a new podcast coming up soon, a music podcast on RHAP, so you can look out for that. Also on here, you can look out for like Sasha and Chappelle's Never Have I Ever thing. Naomi Calhoun is actually starting a podcast with Jay Worthy, and all the other stuff on our audio platform, so you can also look out for that. But yeah, that's all we have for tonight, and we will see you guys next week. Until then, have a good one. Bye.